Okay, this recipe, I'm making this video for those of you who are interested in the scrambled tofu. As I said, you're gonna saute a medium onion or half of a large onion, and by that I mean you're gonna saute the onion in olive oil for about 4 or 5 minutes. When it's semi-clear, it's ready. Then you're going to add the bell pepper, either yellow, red, orange, or whatever you have available. Sorry, I've never done this before, filming and making a video, recording what I'm doing here in the kitchen. You're gonna saute this as well for a couple of minutes. I like to use yellow, orange, and red bell peppers just because I like how they look. It just seems so much colorful and appetizing. And of course I'm going to be using olive oil. You can always add a little bit more. We're going to add the salt now. The less, the better. Remember, tofu has no salt, so it's going to absorb whatever you're using. All the flavors of the other food, the tofu will absorb it. You can always modify how much salt you need later on. It's better to add than to have to eat something salty. And remember, the vegetables don't have to be overcooked. You want them to retain the nutrients, so you don't want them to be overcooked. For me, that is enough. I would probably saute these bell peppers for 1 or 2 more minutes, but since I don't know how to, I don't want this video to be extremely long. Okay. You can also add cilantro, that will be wonderful. Or even jalapenos. I can do that because I have a 4-year-old child and my husband doesn't like jalapenos either, so I really have to add them once it's cooked to my own plate, but that'll be great. You can also use tomatoes. The only thing with tomatoes is that they're very juicy, so whenever I prepare these, I don't want the vegetables to be extremely juicy because otherwise it'll be too watery whenever you add the tofu. Remember to squeeze the liquid, most of it. This is the tofu. This is the brand that I use. I buy it at Kroger, and I think it's less than $2. So it's organic. If you're gonna be eating soy, then it better be organic. Anyways, as you know, tofu comes in water. For some of you who have not cooked with tofu before, well, it comes in water. So you're going to squeeze that. I prefer to use this because it helps. I don't have to use so many paper towels. This is just perfect right now. I don't really measure when I cook this, but what I'm going to be using right now, and I recommend it, is the turmeric. This is extremely healthy. This is approximately how much I'm using, so as you can see it's not that much, but it's going not only going to add nutrients to it. This is wonderful for to prevent or reduce inflammation, but also it will add a nice color to your tofu, and that's what you want, right? You can always add more. I like it, so I'll add more to mine. About that much now, let's see. And then I will also be using this, which is bell pepper in powder. I got this in Spain, but as far as I know, this is the same thing as paprika. I have never cooked with paprika, so I would not know. Once again, this will add to the nice color of your scrambled tofu. I'm using medium heat. And really, that's it. You're just gonna cook this for a few minutes. Keep adding either turmeric or the paprika if that's what you have. Once again, this, as far as I know, this is paprika, but I don't know. But this is just bell pepper in powder. But guys, this is so easy, and this is a whole package of tofu. And a whole package of tofu comes with 1/5 of the package has 8 grams of protein. So that will be 40 grams of protein. I don't think you want to eat this whole thing. Share or or reheat it later on. But this is going to be our dinner. And I'm actually going to be serving this with some small tortillas that I'm going to be making with this pre-cooked white cornmeal that it's used to make pupusas, or how do you call them in Colombia and Venezuela? Arepas. But I actually make the arepas, but yesterday I prepared like tiny tortillas with this, really thin, instead of the arepas, and it's satisfying. I mean, you don't have to eat so many tortillas, but a few of these, a couple or 3 of those small tortillas will suffice. And that's it. I'm gonna taste it now and see if it needs more salt. You can chop tomatoes, and that's what I'm gonna do now, and just add them. Add it to, once you serve it. You don't have to cook the tomatoes. You can make this with the spinach, and that's it. Enjoy it, because I know I will.